folks, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Railway Empire. In this episode and this series, what we're going to be doing is playing through the entirety of the campaign and these scenarios, and we're going to be looking to get as high a rating as possible. I'm not necessarily aiming for a president rating, but if I get one then all the better. However, on any scenario or campaign mode mission that I do not achieve a president rating, what I will do is do a second video where we do get the president rating, and that will be a separate standalone sort of video, if you follow me. What I'll also do is in the description and the title for each video I will make it very clear if it is a president rating that we achieve in the video, so those of you who are looking to see how you get a president rating, you can follow along and you know exactly which videos to aim for. So let's start on, let's get into the campaign. As we can see, I have completed the campaigns. Do have president rating on 4 out of the 5, and in fact if we go to these scenarios as well, we can see got a lot of president ratings here as well, so we should be okay. So let's get started. We'll start with chapter 1, of course, the Great Plains, already completed as president, as we can see. This first chapter takes you through the construction sites of the Union Pacific Railroad, which was started in 1863. Tracks were built westwards to establish the first transcontinental line. While you are conquering the vastness of the Great Plains and the heights of the Rocky Mountains with your tracks, you will learn about the basics of Railway Empire. Thomas Clark Durant, the visionary in charge of Union Pacific, will assist you. So this is what we're going to go for. I'm going to use the normal pause mode pretty much for every video, and then if we need to get the extra bonus points from Trainiac to get the president rating, then we'll have to go back and redo it with Trainiac mode, but I'm going for normal because it allows me time to actually discuss what's happening, and I can pause it and talk through what's happening next. So here we are, we have no choice as to our character. We can see we've got some Christmas themed effects for our characters, little toy soldier here, and we are the industrialist. So new factories are 50% cheaper, and we can buy a town's factory without an auction. Not really any benefit in this episode as we don't have any competitors. Auctions are 50% more expensive. So what's your name? Well, my name is Andrew, and the name of our company is the Union Pacific Railroad. Okay, so we're going to skip this introduction here now and just jump straight on into the game. We can't skip him, unfortunately, so if you want to read along with that, then by all means, crack on. But basically this is just a tutorial mission where you get taught the various basic game mechanics that you're going to need to be successful, hopefully, in Railway Empire. You've got your usual, move the camera around, zoom in, zoom out, rotate the camera, all that good stuff. So he's just going to obviously talk us through there, ask us to do just that, which obviously you can see here we are doing just various different camera controls there. So we're starting here in Omaha. I do believe basically the focus of this mission is to get to Cheyenne, and I think we also at the end of the day we have to grow Cheyenne to I think about 100,000 people, if I remember. It's been quite a while, but we shall see. Anyway, he wants a train station building in Norfolk, so we shall do just that, just to keep him happy and tick off that task. Now I should connect these two stations together, so let's do that. In some ways I do like the track build interface in this game. It's different to Transport Fever 2. It's, I don't know, it's maybe a bit easier perhaps. But anyway, there we go, there's our track linked between Norfolk and Omaha. Now we need a train, so let's do that. And we're just going to do a bog standard setup there. Now, the big difference between Railway Empire and Transport Fever 2 here is that you don't specify your train's consist. You don't specify the carriage types or the length of the train. That's determined automatically. I think the maximum train length is 8 wagons in the consist. Yes, in fact, yeah, it is 8, and it can be a mixture of both passengers and freight. As we can see with ours here, we have 8 units or 8 wagons full of meat heading into Norfolk. Right, now we need to give them a sanding tower, so we shall do just that.
Very good.
That's another element in this game that Transport Fever 2 doesn't have. You have to provide sand and lubricant to your trains, and if you don't do that, especially with the early locomotives, they will go very, very slowly, especially on gradients.
Until now, the corn has made it to the city in the conventional way, but we want to change that. Now construct a rural train station in the marked location with a corn farm within its radius. Now connect the new rural train station to the station in Omaha. And now things are getting tricky as we have to deal with a logistical problem. As Norfolk should also enjoy fresh corn, there will soon be 2 trains traveling on the stretch of track between Omaha and Norfolk. Of course, this will then result in a conflict. Since trains cannot travel through each other, you'll need a sidetrack between Omaha and Norfolk. This consists of 1 parallel track and 2 signals. First, create a sidetrack. It needs to be at least long enough for a fully loaded train. Excellent. However, your trains won't necessarily use the sidetrack, as they generally always take the shortest route. For this reason, you'll also have to specify the direction of travel on each parallel track. Now open Building Construction mode and set up a signal in the highlighted area pointing in the direction of the switch. Trains will then be able to stop here when the single track is in use. Excellent. Now do the same on the parallel track so that each parallel track has a different direction. Place a second signal in the highlighted area and block the track to trains coming from the opposite direction. Very good. I'm sure that wasn't at all easy. You will soon come to realize that signals are an important aid in guaranteeing smooth rail operations. You will find more information and tips under Hints and Tips. Now assemble a new train and give it a locomotive and a rail line. Your new rail line should run via Omaha to Norfolk so that the people of Norfolk can be supplied with corn. Excellent. The corn farm will automatically make use of your train because the cities along your rail line are demanding corn. Conventional transportation is much more costly for the farm. We are still missing something. Locomotives wear out over time and need to be regularly maintained so they can perform their duties more reliably. For this purpose, there needs to be at least 1 maintenance building on each rail line where locomotives can be serviced if necessary. Construct such a maintenance building at your station in Omaha now. To do this, select the station itself and expand the station with this building.
Okay, so just expanding our pattern loop there. In the meantime, obviously we've been asked to construct a maintenance shed in Omaha, which we have now done, and now we have our task list. So we need to connect Omaha to North Platte, I'm not sure about that one. Omaha to Cheyenne, that's by 1864, we're in 1863. 16 loads of cattle to Denver, 16 loads of meat to Cheyenne. Connect 150,000 people to your rail network. Grow Cheyenne to 30,000. Connect to Rock Springs and transport 100 people from Cheyenne to Rock Springs without stopping. Well, that's all very good. So we need to focus on Cheyenne, Denver. Well, Cheyenne definitely we need to grow it, but we need to get meat and cattle into 2 cities. So let's take it one step at a time. Let's go to here first, and we do have a connection bonus for this of 350,000, so we can take care of that nice and easily, like so.
Good.
There we go, a nice
That's
little
finished.
cash bonus there,
You're
getting
making
into
progress.
North Plate or North Plate. I'm not quite sure how you pronounce that. Now we need to go into Cheyenne, so let's take care of that as well. So if we straight shot it, how does that look? That's pretty fine. Let's do that. And let's bring
Those
the
politicians
parallel
in
track out
Washington
as
get
well.
on one's nerves. But now let's get back to your tasks. As you can see, Cheyenne
And we're going to need a
still
diamond,
little town,
obviously,
hoping
just
for an
by
upswing
Cheyenne.
caused by the railroad connection. But the city will only attract new inhabitants if
There
it
we
is
go,
supplied
and we need all
with
the
enough
signals
goods.
along that track as well.
Cities receive
Okay,
basic
so
goods
golden
from the
ticks for
surrounding
those two,
area.
that's great.
If you construct
So now we
stations in the
need
right places,
16
establish
loads
rail
of cattle
lines,
to
your
Denver
trains will be used to
and
transport
16
goods,
loads of
and you
meat
will
to
make
Cheyenne.
profits for
We also want to get
transportation.
some base goods
But
into
for this, you
Cheyenne
have
as
to
well, so
know
it'll
what
grow to
goods the city
30,000. At the
actually
minute we have
needs.
15.
You can
We
find
could
out
put an
any
industry down
city's
in here,
current needs.
and I
Now
think the best one to
select
go
Cheyenne
for
and
is
view
going
the
to be
city's demand
a
for goods.
brewery. So let's put one of those in just there, like that. Wonderful. And what goods do we need
As you
in
can
here?
see,
Let's
Cheyenne
see.
currently needs
Corn,
only a
sorry,
handful of
wheat and
goods,
corn
and
and
can
logs
only
and meat
deliver
and
goods
beer.
that
Well,
are
the
in
beer,
demand.
we will
As the
take care of
city
that
grows,
ourselves
it
with
will
our
demand
industry that
further
we've just
goods.
constructed.
The moment you
So
can
we want to
supply
get this,
grain
this and this
wood.
in, and this
Both
will
of these
come in
goods are
from Denver
available
in a
to the
few
north of
moments. So
Cheyenne.
what we're going to do for this is
Connect
get a
Cheyenne to
station here,
timber
a large
business and a
station,
wheat farm,
and as we can
and
see this
establish a
does
new
reach
rail line
both
that
the
connects them both to
logging
Cheyenne.
industry and the farm just here. And we're going to run this down into Cheyenne on those lines that we constructed just a few moments ago, like that, and like this. And of course we will need a diamond up here so our train can come and go without any hassle. Put a load of signals in like that, and again, one feature I do like about Railway Empire that's missing in Transport Fever 2 is the game will automatically space out your signals for you, which is really handy. So we want to have a train coming from Cook chopping into Cheyenne, and we want to make sure we have a minimum of 8 cars, and we want to prioritise the grain, of course. So let's do that. And I'm going to go ahead and say we need a few trains here, so let's go ahead and
You
get a
can see
few.
how well it is being supplied at any time in the city dialogue.
So we also need
Basically,
to
a city will
get
grow once
meat,
its demands are
cattle into
sufficiently
here,
met.
which in turn will
I think
supply
you have
meat
learned
into
enough. Complete
Cheyenne.
the rest of your
So let's
tasks.
also take care of that as well.
But you certainly
So let's
won't
go
have any
for
success with so
a
little capital.
2-track station.
I might have not planned on this being a loss-making business, but
And
I'll
which
help
way
you out
we'll have
this
it that way,
one
it
last
doesn't really
time.
matter. What we'll also do in fact is put a maintenance shed in Cheyenne. Okay, so we want to get stuff from the cattle farm here. We could double up with the sugar, but not going to do that because I know for a fact we don't need to focus on Denver outside of getting the 18, 16, whatever it is, units of cattle into Denver, and obviously by extension then taking the meat from Denver up into Cheyenne. That's our priority here. Growing Denver isn't our concern. Okay, so we're a bit tight on money. We could wait around for that, or we could just issue a bond and free up 349,000. We do have to repay that, and there is an 8% interest charge on that, of course, but that's no problem. Okay, so let's put down a sanding tower for this line here. You want to be fully loaded at all times, and we'll go for 2. And as soon as both of those trains reach Denver, that will be that little goal ticked off because they both carry 8. And then what we want to do is have a line running between Denver and Cheyenne. Like so. and we'll double track with a diamond as we leave Cheyenne, but we're not going to do the same in Denver. And there we go. So now we can do this. 1 and 2. And then we'll also have 2 heading in return. Cheyenne down to Denver. 1, and we can afford the second one just about, and 2. There we go. So let's look at our train list here. That's what we have coming in and out of Cheyenne. So we have the Cheyenne to Denver trains, and these ones we want on platform 2. So let's make sure both of them are assigned onto platform 2.
The citizens of Denver are impressed by the railroad.
And then these from here, from Cook Chopping, we want on platform number 1. So we'll make sure that is made clear to them. Ooh, that was already done on platform number 1. And then here's the third one, setup line, Cheyenne, platform number 1. And then the 2 that head from Denver up to Cheyenne, we want on platform 2. Here we go, wonderful. So back to our tasks then. So that's done. That's almost done. We'll spam out some railroads to hit this one. That shouldn't be too far. That's going to be easy enough. And then we want to transport passengers from Cheyenne to Rock Springs without stopping. Okay, so what we're going to do here is put down another small station just on the outskirts of Cheyenne. Like that. And this is going to head through to Rock Springs. Just doing our best here just to make sure we don't have any unnecessary bridges and tunnels, of course. Okay, so we'll leave that line there waiting for us. Put our station in Rock Springs, and then we can finish the line.
Now you've managed to cross the Great Plains. A masterpiece.
Let's just unpause the game while we're laying the tracks here. That way we don't have to wait to be able to afford them. How much do we need? 120,000. I tell you what, let's go ahead and issue a bond, and then we can pay it straight off. Pay for the tracks, I mean, not repay the bond straight off. That would be silly. Yeah. So there we go. Cheyenne to Rock Springs. Now we want this to be passengers and mail only, just to satisfy that last objective. And we'll go the same again, coming this way from Rock Springs to Cheyenne. So that's going to tick away in the background. That's going to tick away. We need to connect another 25,000 people to our network. Well, let's see here. Rapid City. There we go. Let's just do a cheeky little pointless connection that's not going to be utilised between Rock City and the rest of our network. There we go. That's that done. That's almost done. So really it's just growing Cheyenne, which we are working on, and it is growing as we can see. Can we? No, we can't afford to do that. What are you up to? 24, so almost 25,000 people. Is there anything else you need that we are getting? Corn. Let's throw some corn your direction. Now we have corn down here, and we also have some up here. So I think what we'll do is we'll put a station up here.
Idea of the value of the assets they're giving away, but that stays between us.
We'll bring it parallel with these, and we'll have this line come in like this, and this will all be one way. Let's just again restart the game in the background so we can accumulate the funds we need, because we don't have any more bonds to issue. And we have some research to do here. Let's see, let's get the dragon.
Advances from previous eras are
And
usually
yes, the plan
already
is
active,
we'll have
but what
trains
the
running
future
down
holds,
here.
we do not
They'll
know.
come through here. We'll bring these tracks
For
out
each
of
advance, you
here,
require innovation
platforms 3 and
points, which
4,
get automatically
bring them all the
each
way
month,
down
and which can be
and connect them in
increased
on
various
this
ways.
corner. That
Now,
way they're not
take a look
really
around
getting in
here
the way.
and then
Why
unlock
are
an
you
innovation of your choosing.
heading to
How about a new
Denver that
locomotive?
way? What are you doing?
My opponent more.
Why are you doing that? Did I forget to put a diamond? Oh, I did. Oh, you bloody idiot. That's what's happened there. I forgot to put a diamond just here, so our train's having to go all the way up to chopping to turn around to come back. There we go.
But you haven't encountered it yet. Be glad. She takes everyone to the cleaners.
Right, now we can put these lines in from the corn farm down here. Let's go ahead and chuck down a sanding tower as well. And as I said, what we're going to do is we're going to have this head on out down here, follow these tracks, and then rejoin at the curve here somewhere. So it's come out a bit, it's kicked out a bit there, but that's okay.
Excellent. Cheyenne is becoming a major railroad hub, and the credit is
Although it doesn't really
all
matter now
ours.
because we've hit that one. We just need to get these people from Cheyenne to Rock Springs. We're almost halfway there anyway. We've got until 1868. And yeah, we are going to get a gold tick for that. You can either get a gold or a green. I think it's if you do it within half of the allocated time, then you will get a gold tick. So we will earn a gold tick for this one, I am sure. But we may as well do this line anyway because we've started it. There we go. So let's bring some of this lovely corn from Stevens Manor into Cheyenne. And which platform do you want to use? We'll use platform number 1. It's the least utilised, as we can see. And we want to make sure you leave Stevens Farm with a full load of corn. There, yeah, let's have the new dragon, shall we? Just had a couple of breakdowns on these trains running between Rock Springs and Cheyenne, so I'm just going to stick down a maintenance shed at both ends of the line so they can make sure they stay as maintained as possible, just so we can get through and get these passengers transported quick time. Let's see. Oh, we're nearly there. 87 out of 100, so yeah, it's not going to take too long now.
Progress is
There we
enormous.
go.
The
Task
Far West is no
completed
longer
in
so far away
1864.
anymore,
We had
and
until I
people are
believe
slowly
1868. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That is our first scenario or campaign mission taken care of. As we saw, it's very much a tutorial mission, but we managed to do it quite nicely. Next time I think sees us on the eastern seaboard in Washington and Baltimore and New York City, so we'll see what lies in store for us there. And again, hopefully we will earn that president rating. If not, I'll make that clear in the video title and description, and then I'll have another re-go at that, and I'll upload the one where we do manage to achieve the president rating, although I don't think we're going to have any trouble on that one. I did play it quite recently and it does seem to be quite straightforward. So there's our confirmation. President rating, 8 out of 8 tasks, 20 out of 20 time rating, overall rating therefore of 30. Length of game, it took us 1 year and a month to do that. Company value of $3.5 million, 18 rail lines, 12 stations, 2,506.9 miles length of track, and 53 wagons on duty. So I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Nice little introduction into Railway Empire. It is a bit different to Transport Fever 2. Both games have their own little pitfalls and unique selling points, and it's nice to chop and change between the two from time to time. Less fine control over your trains in this one, of course. You don't set the, as I said, the wagon length or the consist type, but you do have to worry about things like maintenance because your trains do break down, and soon we will start being introduced to the competitor players, the AI competitors, who we have to handle as well, and they can be nothing short of frustrating. There are some other elements to this game that I don't really do too much of, such as hiring staff and trained personnel such as stokers, engineers, guards and what have you. Don't really bother with them. Likewise, the The functional cars such as the caboose, the mail car, dining car and refrigerator car, I don't bother with them either. You can do. I don't find them to be too necessary. It's quite easy to make enough money without the extra couple of percentage points that they provide. So if you did enjoy the episode and you're looking forward to this series in general, then go ahead and hit that thumbs up button there down below. And for those of you who haven't yet subscribed to the channel, I'd like to see more Railway Empire or Transport Fever 2 content in the future, and other games potentially further down the line, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. That would be fantastic. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, all that remains for me to say is take very good care of yourselves. It's ta-ta for now.